Hi guys, today we have these adorable little chicks with us. And I don't know what Mom's harvesting today.
A winter squash.
We're harvesting winter squash. Bye.
Hi everyone! Welcome back again to our channel, Ecom Family. My name is Marianne, and that little girl earlier her name is Elizabeth. She has two meat birds in her hands. And today, we are going to harvest some winter squash because I checked them yesterday and some of them are ready to harvest. So, if you are not yet a subscriber, please subscribe and please like the video. Thank you very much. So, let's start harvesting winter squash. Hello everyone, I am here now in our winter squash garden. And this garden it is next to our chicken coop. You see there's a rooster there. And most of the chickens are next to the coop under the shade there. And I see a chicken there. We're going to harvest this winter squash. And I'm going to show you everyone. Aside from winter squash, I have bitter melon or ampalaya. Ampalaya is the Tagalog, Filipino name of bitter melon. I have here another bitter melons here. This one is the Chinese kind, this one here. And this one here is the Indian bitter melon. I see there is one really big. I have several here that they're ready to be harvested. Maybe we'll harvest it tomorrow. So let's get ready with our winter squash. And I said in our previous video that this is our first year to plant winter squash. So that means I have no idea how to harvest butternut squash. But I watched several videos at YouTube and did some research, and I will try to apply that here in harvesting this winter squash. So let's see if I know how to harvest, which one is ready, which one is not. Alright, here everyone, I have here a butternut squash. And according to my research, one sign that the butternut is ready for harvest is the stem here. It should be dry and brown. And I think that stem is dry and brown. It's hard now. And it says the color of the fruit should be tan in color. I think this is tan, no more green. Because usually if it's not yet mature enough, the color is lighter, like greenish in color. And it says if you're going to pierce it with your fingernails, with your fingernail, your fingernail should not pierce through the skin. So let's try it. Oh, that's true. It will make a dent, but your fingernail will not pierce through the skin of the fruit. Oh, that's really true. And I'm going to cut this. It says cut 2 inches. So I'm gonna cut as far as I can. And I'm using here a pruner. This is a pruner. I hope this is sharp enough. Oh, that was easy. And here's the butternut squash. That's a butternut squash that I just harvest. See the stem? And if you handle your butternut fruit, oh my, it's so bright. I'm sorry. You should not hold it on the stem, because once the stem fall off, it means the fruit is prone to the bacteria can go inside the flesh of the fruit, and then it will go rot. So if accidentally accident can happen, and then you accidentally pull this stem off, so you just have to cook the fruit earlier. Don't store the fruit. because it will go rot quicker. So I have here several plants, several, I would say maybe around 70 plants of winter squash, butternut, acorn, and spaghetti. But I don't think all of them are ready today for harvest. Only some of them are ready because I noticed some of them are still green. I mean, the stem are still green. Like this. I'll show you to you. Let's see if I can find one here. Like this butternut here, still green. And look at the stem. Also, the stem is also green as well as the fruit. Let's see if I can find another one. This one too. You see this butternut here? The color is light. Oh wow, what happened to the photo? Very bright. This butternut is greenish and light in color, not yet tan in color. So it means this is not yet ready for harvest, maybe next week. So I will keep checking if they are ready for harvest, which one is ready, which one is not. So see you later, everybody. Hi everyone, I have here 2 acorn squash. Based on my research, it says acorn squash is ready to harvest when the part of the squash that is being that is touching the ground should turn orange, and this one is orange, so I guess this is ready. And I have here several of this acorn squash. This is the bush kind of acorn squash. I noticed they are small, maybe because they are bush, not the regular vine kind of acorn squash, but they are perfect. Maybe one of these is good for one person. They're small, maybe a pound. And I have here one beautiful squash. Do you know what's this squash? This is called the delicata squash. Pretty. And this is also the vine kind of delicata squash. And unfortunately, I have only one. I don't know what happened to the rest, but I have only one. And it's small. Good for one person only. And I think this is ready because the stem is really very dry. After I cut it, it's completely dry there, the stem. And also the color is like, what's this color? Like orange? But it's orange or yellowish. The stripes, the green stripes turn into like yellow color instead of green. So this is ready. I'm going to show you everyone another varieties of winter squash that we have here in the garden. This is spaghetti squash. I like spaghetti squash. I tried it once. We bought it from the store and then I like it, so I decided to plant this year. And by the way, guys, everyone, I don't like to call guys to people. By the way, everyone, I bought my winter squash seeds from migardener.com. One packet of winter squash seeds is, I think it's about 25 seeds inside, and it is just 99 cents. So you can't go wrong with 99 cents. And I think this is ready. Why? Because the color is really yellow. Used to be like greenish in color. And also the second thing that I noticed is the stem. The stem is brown. It's brown, and at here it is completely dry, as in dry. And this is it. I'm going to harvest more of this spaghetti squash because we have more big ones there next to our house, because we have also winter squash plants next to our house, aside from this area here next to our chicken coop. And I will show you another variety, everyone. And this variety, this is the Thelma Sander squash. And according to the label of this squash, this tastes like sweet potato. And I like sweet potato very much. And also I noticed the color is really, what's it, beige or what's the color? But I also noticed there's some greenish area. So I'm not sure, but on the stem, if you can see, the stem is very dry. And also here, where I cut it, it is completely dry. So I'm not sure if this greenish means not yet ready or what. And also the skin is very hard. Your fingernail cannot pierce through the skin. It is hard. Alright everyone, these are the winter squash that I just harvest next to our chicken coop. The garden next to our chicken coop. Up there. Let me show it to you up there. The chicken coop is somewhere. Where's the camera? Chicken coop is somewhere there. And here they are. I'm not sure how many are they, but very soon I'm going to count the squash. So we have here acorn, Thelma Sander. Those are delicata squash. This one here is spaghetti, and the rest are butternut squash. By the way, guys, you wonder why they are not the same color. I mean, the butternut squash. I have three kinds of butternut squash here. I have the Watham butternut squash, the Honey Baby butternut squash, and the other one is the Pilgrim butternut squash. And I noticed the Pilgrim butternut squash, they get ripe sooner than the Watham butternut and Pilgrim. No, Watham butternut and the Honey Baby. And I think because I just checked the Pilgrim butternut squash, the maturity days is about 80 days. So it's much quicker than the rest of the butternut varieties. And in this area here, in this table, I just harvest these few squash. I harvest this from our garden next to our house. In there we have a garden there. And I still have more winter squash there that are not yet ready. Mostly butternut. And I have here, these are, this one is the spaghetti and spaghetti. I have 3 spaghetti squash. I have 1 butternut. And we have here 5 acorn and 1 delicata squash. Guess what? I broke the stem of this squash. I want to show it to you, everyone. Let's go here. This one don't have a stem now. I accidentally broke it. So it means this squash will not store. So it means I have to put this in the kitchen counter and eat this first before the rest. Because the one without a stem, they will get rot and they will not store. Whereas the one with stem, this one here with the stem, they can store for several months. Especially the butternut squash, you can store them 6 months to a year. So imagine that time, several months, 6 months to a year. But the acorn, maybe 4 months. I have to check it. But they last several months. And the butternut is the winner, 6 months to a year. So this squash, I'm going to cure this squash. Means I just have to put this squash in a warm area. I'm thinking of putting here in the table. Based on my research, it's kind of inconsistencies on the temperature, because it says some websites say 70 degrees, some says between 80 to 85 degrees. So I think I'm just going to follow 80 to 85 degrees because that's the temperature here outside during the day right now. And by the way, based on my research, the acorn squash and the delicata squash, you don't need to cure them. You can eat them right away. But the butternut and the spaghetti, you need to cure them. It means you need to put them in a warm surface, in a warm area, so that they can continue this skin. It will continue to get harder, and also it will get rid some of the excess water in the fruit by putting them in a warm area for, it says, 10 to 14 weeks. So I'm thinking of just putting them here in the table during the day, and if it's ready, I'm going to bring them inside that shed there. We have a shed there. And I think this is it, everybody. Hopefully you're also harvesting winter squash somewhere in the world right now. And please subscribe. Don't forget to like the video, and please hit the notification bell button so that you will not miss any video from us. Thank you, everyone. Really appreciate for watching our videos. And take care, everyone, and God bless. Bye. Happy gardening.